Welcome to this short video on Facebook ad tactics, 4 Facebook ad tactics that 95% of Facebook advertisers do wrong or don't even know about. So let's proceed. So these 4 Facebook ad tactics, they'll put you ahead of your competition. And let's go basically over the 4 things. The one big thing to know about boosting a post. That's the first topic. The second one is the trick to making a winning ad. Then we'll talk about retargeting. What is it and why use it? And then we'll talk about Facebook's second most powerful feature, what I think it is. And I'm sure most people would agree with it. And then actually the 5th topic is actually, I have 5 topics here. This is kind of a bonus. How to tell Facebook to go get me more money. So when we're done, you'll see how these tactics can dramatically improve results with Facebook advertising. So it really is true. If you do this right, it really can work. All right, so imagine that you can use Facebook advertising without wasting money and know how much money your ads made or lost. Turn Facebook into a gumball machine, like put money in and get money out. I mean, if you have a system that you know works, and you know if you put $200 in, it's going to bring you back $400 or whatever, or then you can scale it up as long as you know it will bring you a profit. Imagine you can know more about what works with Facebook ads than almost everyone else, and there's a way to do that. Imagine you can do all of this without having to learn 85% of what the Facebook ads tutorials teach. And I would say those tutorials are good, but there's so much detail, and a lot of times you don't need to know all that detail. And it turns into just kind of a waste of time going through all of that stuff when all you need to know is some of the basic things that really matter. So that's what we want to focus on. Okay, so the big thing to know about boosting a post, and it's all about the objective. When you boost a post, your ad is automatically put into what they call a campaign objective of engagement, which means Facebook is going to try to show your ads to people who are more likely to engage or click, which means people who click like or comment or share. So, and that's not a bad thing. But just knowing that is the one objective you're put into is important, because sometimes you might want a different objective. And another objective, as an example, is getting website traffic, clicks to your website, or conversions is another example, which is getting people to do something on your website, okay, like buy or put their email address in or something. So boosting a post can be a fast way to get started, but it can be a fast way to throw away your money. Alternatives to boosting posts. So you can use what they call the Ads Manager, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. Or you can use the Power Ad Editor, which is a more advanced version of the Ads Manager. There's a few more things you can do with Power Editor that you can't do with Ads Manager. But actually, it seems to be changing, and it seems like they're adding more and more to Ads Manager, and so the two are looking more and more alike. Now, this tip here is a really good tip, actually. You could run, instead of doing what most people do and just making one ad and running it, and not really paying attention to it, which they should do. The thing to do is run more ads, run 10 ads, and then compare them, see which ones do the best, and then keep the winners and run them and discard the losers. So that's a big tip. All right. So what's the trick to making a winning ad? So the first line really is the main thing. Eye-catching image a compelling headline, and a strong call to action. Okay, those things, that's easier to say than do, but keep that in mind and they'll get you a long way. Split testing between ads on Facebook is difficult. So the alternative strategy is to try a lot of different ads with a lot of different variation, and then see which ones work better and go with those. You can do some split testing between audiences and between objectives. Okay. So as an example, a system that works, you could create a new ad every day for a week or two and vary the images, vary the text. Run the ads against a warm audience, and a warm audience would be people who have visited your website, or page fans, or maybe even an email list that you might have that you can upload to Facebook to create an audience that you can advertise to. The next step would be to determine the best performing ad and try it on a lookalike audience. And then next would be use conversion tracking and tell Facebook to optimize for conversions. And that's really the winning solution there. That's what people do. And that's more advanced, but that is just kind of a look into the future. If you're not there yet, that's how they do it. That's how to really make it work. Is she your customer? So probably not. You have a 2-year-old looking at your ads or clicking on your ads. That's not a good thing. So who is your audience and how do you reach them? That's what you need to ask. So you can narrow down who your audience is or who sees your ads by age and by gender and by interests and behaviors, and also by what I mentioned previously, warm audiences. So people that you know are more likely to be receptive and to respond to your ads, which would be warm audiences, people who have visited your website and so on. All right, retargeting is the third thing here. So these last few things are all about audiences. So what is it and why use it? So retargeting allows you to show ads to people who have visited your website, or people who have viewed videos or engaged with your posts or your page actually, or people who are in a list that you upload to Facebook. So if you have 200 customers, you could upload them, their names and email addresses, to Facebook, and Facebook would match them up for, of course, those people. The people that get matched have to be on Facebook too, of course. So they may not all of yours may not be there, so they may not all get matched. But of the ones that do get matched, you can have an audience on Facebook to show your ads to. So why use it? You'll spend much less and you'll get better results, and people who already know about you are more likely to engage and respond to your ads. So that's a really, really big deal. And that's really the key to success with advertising on Facebook, is retargeting. Or I think remarketing, they may call it remarketing. So that's basically the same thing. Okay, now the second most feature, what I say is Facebook's second most powerful feature, is lookalike audiences. So this again deals with audiences. So Facebook creates it based on a list of names and emails that you upload. That's one way that it can create them. Or you can tell Facebook, give me a lookalike audience of people who are just like my Facebook fans, or just like a custom audience that I have, which is people who have already visited my website or engaged with my page or a video, or conversions, which would be people who you sold to or acquired as a lead. So let's say you have like 300 people that are Facebook fans. You can create a lookalike audience of a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch more people who are just like those fans of yours that should be responsive, just like your fans are. Now, if your Facebook fans aren't very responsive, then that's not a very good audience for you. So it's important to have fans on your Facebook page that are valid and not just, you shouldn't just go for getting a high number of fans. You should go for people who really are good customers. So your source audience must be at least 100 people when you create a lookalike audience. So if you have 90 Facebook fans, you can't create a lookalike audience out of that. You need 100 at least. And it's probably better to have a couple hundred or so or more. And like I said, you get a list of 1 million people all the way up to 10 million people. You get to choose of people who are just like your customers. So this is a very powerful tactic to use. Once you get started, and you want to scale up and expand, you can use this. Now, the audience that you get is nationwide, but you can narrow that down when you do your advertising to just your local area. So you'll be showing ads to your lookalike audience, but just the ones in the lookalike audience that are near you, if that's what you want to do. So, all right, and then tell Facebook, get me more money. This is the fifth one, optimizing for conversions, which I would say is probably Facebook's most powerful feature. Arguably, it is. So basically, you set up some code on your website so that it communicates with Facebook and tells Facebook when somebody buys something on your website or gets to a certain place. A conversion could also be them just giving your email address. So it could be a sale or a lead. You set up a custom conversion that communicates with your ad, and that custom conversion code is put on your. Actually, there's one piece of code that's put on every page of your website for Facebook, but you set up a custom conversion within your Facebook advertising system on Facebook. All right, and then you can do this within lookalike audiences or a broad range, and let Facebook find your customers. And that's getting a little bit more advanced again, and that's from the Facebook documentation. And there, the next line, they say the best tools to target specifically while optimizing for conversions are lookalike audiences sourced from your best customers. All right, and then they say don't narrow down your targeting on a lookalike audience except for location, and use expanded targeting to setting to get more conversions. So optimizing conversions basically will tell Facebook to go out there and find more people who are just like the ones who have already bought from you or converted for you. That's very powerful because they have a lot of information on people, and they can probably do that. So the summary then, the one big thing to know about boosting a post, which was that the post, it puts you into a objective of engagement. So different things you do with ads have different objectives. The trick to making a winning ad, and that's basically using a good headline, a compelling call to action, and an eye-catching image. Retargeting, we talked about what it is and why. Very, very important and powerful. And then Facebook's second most powerful feature was using the lookalike audiences. And then the last thing, how to go get more money out of Facebook, really is telling them use conversion tracking and conversion optimization to go get more people just like the people who just bought from me, and get those people to buy from me. So through your ads. So these are very powerful tactics that matter the most, and you'll definitely reach more people and customers with this. But it's just a matter of getting some things set up. Now the thing is, you don't have to know every single detail about Facebook advertising to do this stuff. And that's what I'm trying to offer here, is to get you started with all of that so that you don't have to learn everything. So next, if you're on my email list already, you will get a little bit more how to do this really fast in a 10-minute video. So I'll show some on-screen examples, and I'll show you some examples of good and bad ads from my own experiences, actually. And I'll list all of the, I'll give you a cheat sheet for the ad objectives and then answer questions via email. And if you want to get started even faster, I have a 7-day Facebook ads training course. And this goes over and gets delivered by email 7 days straight, one step each day. It kind of steps you through it. And it's a good way to really to get going with it. And then I've got some other things here of 10-minute video on how to integrate Facebook with your website. And then a 10-minute video about 4 reasons that ads don't work. And then the best way to target your customers. It's another 10-minute video. And I charge $99 for that. And there's the payment link is right there. databay.com/FB-7day. And there is a 100% money-back guarantee on this at any time. So if at any time you decide you didn't want to do this, then you can get a refund. I'll refund your money. So, all right. Thank you for watching.